Hi, my name is Jason Maple. I work with Maple Farms GP, and we have some tillage points here. We're primarily conventional tillage, and we run Krause Dominator 4850s, a 11 shank and 9 shank, and we were comparing some points of different competitors in the wear with the new Krause points over here. With this competitor point, we saw a lot of narrowing down here at the bottom, and then we would actually see a hole form right in here, or the point would actually snap off here and break, leaving this part of the point in the field. With this competitor's point, we saw a lot of wear down here. We would actually have to rebuild some of these to get some more life out of them before this point would actually be worn out. And what I always looked for is when this was smooth, is when that would start wearing the bottom of this out. And so we're about there on this point. And with the Krause point, we had a pretty well even wear. We didn't have any thinning up here on this part, and we still will be running this point. It wasn't quite worn out, where these two here were at the point where they were actually worn out. So we ran these about 2,500 acres on our 11 shank 4850 Krause Dominator, and we tried to keep them in the same pattern. So we actually ran this one in the middle, and then these on the either side of them, just to see the exact same wear in comparison. So one of the things we noticed was the length of it and the weight differences. So in this competitor, we lost almost 2 inches in length, and we lost about 24 pounds new and 16 pounds used on this one, where this was 26.5 pounds, or down to 22 pounds. So we only lost about 4 pounds on this versus almost 8 pounds on this one. And this one only lost 1.25 inches versus the 2 inches here. So with the extra length, we won't have to worry about lowering the machine down as much as it wears down, versus this one you have to keep lowering the machine down to stay at your constant depth. So traditionally on these points, we had to put a washer, and the bolt head or nut would be on this side, and evidently, or normally, we'd have wear on the nuts and bolts, so we'd actually have to use open-end wrenches and sometimes even grind or torch the bolts off to change these points. With the other two competitors, the bolt would actually sit inside this hole, and you'd have to have 2 sockets to get it off. But the bolt is protected and doesn't get worn. This one allowed 2 easy sockets to get in there, where this one was a little bit more oblong and had a little bit harder of a challenge getting the socket in there. You had to make sure that it was up, where this one had a little bit better access to change the bolt. Overall, we found that the new Krause points were more durable, a little bit easier to change, and we were just much happier over the competitors, and we were changing all of our points to this. And cost comparison, they're comparable, and if not a little bit cheaper than some of the other brands out there, but the life expectancy is a lot better. They do a better job than these at turning soil, but similar job to these. This competitor at turning the soil, but the life is just a lot better, and we didn't see the breakage that we saw with these.